We're about to go down a rabbit hole into the shadowy world of artificial intelligence, secret security forces, and disruptive technology that could alter the course of humanity forever. Yeah, I know that sounds like the tagline for a Michael Crichton thriller, but believe me, this is very much real life. Our story starts with OpenAI, the research company that set its sights on creating superintelligence, AGI, or superhuman AI, whatever you want to call it these days. We're talking about the kind of mind-blowing AI system that could potentially outshine human intelligence and capabilities across the board. And they've been pretty upfront about that goal, so that's not the big secret we're uncovering here, but it's important context for the story. Let's set that aside for a minute though, because we need to fill you in on another wild story that's unfolding to really understand why this whole superintelligence pursuit is such a big deal. And that story revolves around OpenAI's alleged master plan. Now, according to a former OpenAI employee named Leopold Aschenbrenner, the company allegedly had a master plan a few years back that sounds like a wild conspiracy theory you'd find on a late-night radio show. Aschenbrenner claims that he heard from multiple inside sources that OpenAI's leadership once laid out a scheme to basically spark a bidding war over their potentially world-changing AGI technology between the governments of the United States, China, and Russia. Just let that sink in for a moment. A freaking bidding war between nuclear superpowers over super intelligent AI that could totally shift the global balance of power. Did they take inspiration from Brewster's Millions, but replace the ridiculous spending spree with an AI arms race of epic proportions? They might have.
There's gotta be a catch. Of course there's a catch.
But here's the startling fact, the part that made Aschenbrenner's friend utter the immortal words, "That's pretty up." Apparently, OpenAI was willing to sell this world-altering technology not just to USA, but also to adversaries like China and Russia. As Aschenbrenner put it, there's also something that feels eerily familiar about starting this bidding war and then playing them off each other, saying, well, if you don't do this, China will do it. I mean, can you imagine the kind of threats and instability that could arise from that scenario? It's like the plot of every dystopian movie rolled into one explosive package. You'd have these rival superpowers scrambling to get their hands on the most advanced AI system, probably to gain military superiority or subjugate their populace more effectively. This is exactly the kind of situation that could kickstart a new AI Cold War or worse. But there's even more drama surrounding this whole OpenAI saga. See, Aschenbrenner himself was actually fired from the company earlier this year after warning the higher-ups about the very real threat of China potentially stealing their key algorithmic secrets. You'd think they'd take that kind of warning seriously, right? Well, according to the ex-employee, the HR team branded his warning memo as racist and unconstructive instead.
The HR person told me it was racist to worry about CCP espionage, and they said it was sort of unconstructive.
Can you believe that? A guy tries to raise legitimate concerns about intellectual property theft and national security implications, and he gets shown the door. Sounds like OpenAI was more worried about appearing politically correct than safeguarding cutting-edge tech from rival nations. But maybe I'm just wearing my tinfoil hat a little too tightly today. Anyway, stepping away from the cloak and dagger stuff for a sec, there's another crazy part of this story that blows my mind. Apparently, to power their pursuit of AGI, OpenAI has been trying to strike a deal with a next-gen energy company called Helion to secure vast quantities of nuclear fusion power. For those not up on their scientific breakthroughs, nuclear fusion is essentially the ultimate achievement of clean energy, a near-limitless power source with virtually no greenhouse emissions or hazardous waste. It's the same reaction that powers the freaking sun, so you know it packs a serious punch. And if the reports are true, OpenAI thinks they'll need that kind of astronomical energy output to bring their AGI dreams to reality. This part of the story gets even wilder when you consider that nuclear fusion technology doesn't actually exist yet on a viable commercial scale. It's still largely theoretical and experimental stuff. But Helion, backed by hundreds of millions from OpenAI CEO Sam Altman himself, claims they could have a functioning fusion reactor up and running by 2028. Are they going to pull it off and give OpenAI the ultimate power source for super intelligent AI? Or will their timeline join the ranks of other massively overhyped and delayed scientific breakthroughs? We'll find out eventually, but the implications are astonishing either way. Now, while all this corporate intrigue and futuristic energy talk has been unfolding, there's been another bizarre phenomenon happening on the ground level around OpenAI's offices. See, people in the neighborhood have noticed some seriously shady characters loitering around the building's entrances, like blacked out sunglasses, earpieces, that whole obvious security guard getup. But here's the really weird part. When reporters have tried to approach these mysterious figures to ask if they're actually guarding the OpenAI facility, the men have clammed up tighter than a locked vault. One guy just shrugged his shoulders when asked directly. Another, who called himself Joey, claimed to be some kind of vague private contractor working a confidential job. The whole affair has the vibe of a surreal secret club where no one is allowed to acknowledge what's really going on. OpenAI seems to have created a secret bubble around their AI operations. This veil of secrecy and paranoia even seems to extend to OpenAI's own employees. Reporters staking out the building have noticed staffers coming and going, but any attempts at striking up a conversation are quickly shut down with a mumbled, "Sorry, I've got to run," or nervous glances between the employees before they scurry off. The whole thing is just downright bizarre, and you've got to wonder what sort of sensitivities or national security concerns could inspire this level of subterfuge from a tech company. Are they legitimately afraid of foreign espionage, or has the pursuit of AGI just turned them all into paranoid recluses? When you start putting all the pieces together, it definitely paints an ominous picture surrounding OpenAI's activities. You've got allegations of a planned AI arms race that could destabilize the world order. You've got claims of a company so cavalier about national security that they'd sell coveted tech to adversaries. There are whispers of secretive security forces and employees sworn to silence. And at the center of it all is the tantalizing promise of limitless energy that could birth a super intelligent AI system. It's as if we're on the brink of a tech breakthrough that's beyond our comprehension. Or maybe I'm just getting carried away, and this is all pretty standard operating procedure for a cutting-edge tech company. The truth likely lies somewhere in the middle, as it so often does. While the various reports and claims create an intriguing narrative, there's still a lot of uncertainty and unanswered questions. Maybe OpenAI really did have some ill-conceived bidding war scheme years ago that's been abandoned. Perhaps the security situation is overblown. The nuclear fusion gambit could pan out or not. We don't have a concrete picture of what's really going on behind those office walls. All we can do is monitor the situation and hope that the incredible potential of AGI technology ends up being a great catalyst for humanity's advancement rather than its detriment or undoing. Because make no mistake, the pursuit of artificial general intelligence is barreling forward, fueled by big ideas, big money, and perhaps some overly ambitious or cavalier thinking. Whether the world's first AGI emerges from the halls of OpenAI or somewhere else entirely, the implications will be profound in a way that could reshape civilization as we know it. So keep your eyes peeled, your skepticism engaged, and get ready to embrace one of the most exciting and disruptive technological frontiers humanity has ever encountered. The future is coming, and it's looking increasingly like it will be ruled by artificially intelligent overlords. Let's just hope they're the friendly, benevolent type, for all our sakes. All right, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more updates. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you in the next one.